Hello everyone and welcome to Lena Mystic. Today we're just going to be talking about dragonflies. Quite a bit of people have been asking me what they mean spiritually. So I'm going to cover that in this video because I think it's very important that we know what our spirit animals or spirit totems are telling us that are around in the area. If you've been seeing dragonflies, this video is for you. I want to start off by saying dragonflies are very alluring. They're beautiful. I actually have a blog specifically about them on my website, lenamysticoracle.com. You can go ahead and check that out because I really go in depth about dragonflies. And I studied the scientific side of them and kind of like when, you know, they're in the larval stage and everything, and I find them very interesting, just very mysterious as well. So if you've been seeing dragonflies lately, it's saying that you are mysterious. Maybe you don't tell everyone what you're doing. Maybe you like people to wonder what you're doing as well, but overall it does say you're very mysterious, and your life is probably going to be mysterious as well, meaning that it's not going to be like the regular type of life. Like maybe you've seen things that most people haven't, maybe you've experienced things that most people haven't, maybe even live in an area where most people haven't gone to or something, who knows. But it's just saying that your life is very different, very mysterious, and you know, it just stands out. Whether you've seen a dragonfly in your home, outdoors, or, you know, at your workspace, it doesn't really matter. This message still pertains to you. So first things first, dragonflies start off around 2 to 6 years in their larval stage. Now this is the kicker. They start off in water, which is crazy to me because I did not know that. I guess most bugs do start off in water, but it's very interesting to know that they're in water for like 2 to 6 years of their life. Most of them are 2 to 4 years, but you know, it basically averages around 2 to 6 years. I think that it's interesting because they're kind of preparing for this next stage of their life, very similar to the caterpillar and the butterfly, but theirs is much different. If you think about dragonflies spending 2 to 6 years, like butterflies only spend a few months, I think. Based off of what they taught us in school, I feel like they only spend a few months in their larval stage or as a caterpillar, and then they turn into a butterfly. So I think the dragonflies are much different. Knowing that they spend 2 to 6 years, that's almost a decade. 6 years is almost a decade. They spend almost a decade in some cases in water, and then they feel the urge to just transition on land. That's crazy to me. It's very similar to us and how as kids we're going to school for like 13, 14 years in some cases, and we're learning all this and learning all that, and then we're kind of pushed out in the real world like, hey, it's time to provide for yourself. That is basically how I see the dragonfly. It's like I'm used to this lifestyle, but now I feel this strong intuitive gut feeling to go out on land, and I think that's crazy, and I think that's what a lot of you might be going through. You may be feeling like, wow, I need to go step out there, or wow, I need to do this in my life, or I need to do that in my life. And I think that you should listen to that gut feeling, because if you look at the dragonfly, they have no idea what's going to happen this next stage of their life, but they still go out on a gut feeling and they say, I know this is for me. I think that you should be as confident as you possibly can be in your soul's mission, in your soul's journey, and go ahead and take that step, because who knows what's going to happen. This could be the best thing for you. You don't want to stay in your larval stage for the rest of your life. So go and take that next step. Honestly, if you stay in your comfort zones too long, you're never going to be able to grow, and that is not a place that you want to be in. So make sure that you're always willing to grow and willing to step out of your comfort zone, even if it's a little step or you're on your tiptoes the whole time. Like, just take that next step, because it could be the best thing that ever happened to you. Dragonflies definitely represent transition and transformation in your life, mostly because they go from this larval stage in water and then just go out on a limb and say, hey, I'm gonna go on land. I think they also represent taking leaps of faith, because we never really know what's gonna happen next. That is just how life is, and that's literally how the dragonfly's life is. Like, they're so used to this water or aquatic lifestyle, and then they just transition into life on land. And I mean, I don't know if it's weird to anybody else how they spend this amount of time, 2 to 6 years in water, and then they just think, hey, you know, I feel this urge to go on land. Maybe I'm ready. I really feel like that represents us in our life when we're so used to something, maybe so used to living in this home, and then we feel the urge to move out of that home. I mean, it's weird. It's like we're really stepping out on faith and we're saying, okay, we're going to be able to sustain life in this other place, or we're going to be okay. And this is, dragonflies represent for people who are used to hearing, oh, we're gonna go work this job, or your whole family works government jobs and you're saying, hey, you know, I want to be a performer. It represents for those people who have unique dreams and they want to sustain a lifestyle still, and they want to be able to take care of their family or their future families. The dragonfly comes for those of us who do not have regular, and I don't want to say regular, but more so usual lifestyles. Like we're different and we stand out and we're meant to live a different life. Those of us who see dragonflies over and over again, it's saying you're different, you stand out, and you're bold. And not only are you bold, but you're mysterious. Like nobody knows much about, or the people that I've talked to don't know much about dragonflies and what their history is. That is you. You're the dragonfly that no one really knows your history, but when you stand before them, you are bold, you are mysterious, you're strong and intuitive, and people can feel that. You're almost like the Empress or the Emperor card, and you're just standing tall. Nobody knows how you got there, and a lot of people think that you didn't have to work hard to get there or take any leaps of faith, but you had to work hard to get there. Everything wasn't handed to you. The best thing that I can recommend when you see a dragonfly is write down where you think you can take your next steps in your life, because a dragonfly is saying, take those next steps. Take those next steps that I've been leading you to. Maybe it's been years you've been hearing the same thing over and over again. Do this or do that. It's time to take those next steps, because a dragonfly is begging you, showing up to let you know that you are ready. You're ready for this next step. Even though you have no idea how you're going to sustain life or no idea how things are going to work out, you have to take that next step. So when I researched dragonflies, I thought it was so fascinating that most bugs cannot fly as well as dragonflies can. And you may not have noticed it, or you may have, but dragonflies can basically fly in all 6 directions: up, down, left, right, front, back, like literally all types of directions. And I think that's fascinating because depending on the winds, they can adjust accordingly. And I think that is telling us, anyone who's seeing dragonflies, that you can adjust accordingly to any situation. You are resourceful, you can handle these things, you're capable. And I think that's where we lack faith. It's like, do I have that much strength, or do I have that much adaptability to assimilate or acclimate to any situation? And your guides are sending you the dragonfly to say, yes, you do. You can adapt to any situation. You are resourceful enough to adapt to any situation. Our guides, especially when we're meant to carry out this purpose, they start pushing us out of areas and out of comfort zones because we didn't make that step ourselves. And they're saying, hey, like I've been telling you the last 3 years, you need to start using your gift, or you need to tap into your gift, because this is how you're going to help other people fulfill their life's mission as well. I think that happens quite often because I don't know if it's like the shift going on in the universe. I don't know much about astrology, but I think that we are being pushed to fulfill our purposes for a reason. So if you're feeling divinely guided in a direction, please take that step, because you have no idea how much you'll impact someone else, and you have no idea what they're supposed to do. Just imagine really big people, like really well-known people, not having that one person that motivated them or inspired them, and how they wouldn't have fulfilled their mission. Just think about your role model or someone you really look up to. Imagine them not fulfilling their purpose because that one person who was supposed to tell them or lead them in a certain direction never did that. You're that person meant to lead other people. So go ahead and send that message that you've been feeling that you need to send, or do that thing that you've been feeling drawn to. One of the greatest things about seeing a dragonfly is knowing that you have this embedded wisdom, this embedded intuition, because that tells you that no matter what circumstance you're in or what trials and tribulations you're going through, the dragonfly is letting you know that you will adapt, and that you will have some type of embedded wisdom that kicks in and allows you to adapt and be more resourceful in any situation. I think dragonflies also represent ancestors in a way, saying that you have a lot of ancestors behind you, ready to step in anytime that you allow them. So if you want to ask your ancestors or your angels, your guides, God, the divine, to step in at any time, go ahead and do that. I say that because dragonflies are thought to be around 300 million years old, and that kind of tells me, you know, they have a long legacy of ancestors. So I'm thinking, you know, when I'm writing this article, I'm thinking, hey, you know what? Yeah, that means we have a long line of ancestors too. Let's utilize the resources that they can give us, you know? Let's look into our family tree and try to connect to an ancestor that we just feel drawn to and say, hey, you know, if you are of light, can you help me? Can you help me go through my path of purpose, please? I think when you ask your angels and guides for help, you can know for sure that you will always find your way on top. You will always, because it's not just you anymore. It's you with your ancestors, your guides, and those of light. And most of all, the divine God. God is here supporting you. All you have to do is ask for help. In prayer, I think it's very important that you ask God to lead your way. Because sometimes we have this vision, and I'm still talking about dragonflies, guys, but sometimes we have this vision of something small. We think, oh, I want to be this, I want to be that, and we think it's huge, we think it's amazing, it's like our biggest dream. But then God is like, I have a bigger plan for you, but I'll go ahead and I'll give you this thing, and then you won't feel that fulfillment. So it's best that you ask God to really lead your way in your path. Another thing I want to point out about the dragonfly is how fearless they seem. When you look at them, they just look like they're literally queens and kings flying around. I don't know if all of you guys feel like that, but when I see a dragonfly, I just instantly feel power. I feel strength. And that is a representation of you, your courage to overcome anything that you face. And it's just confirmation that you're powerful, you're strong, you're intuitive, that you can do whatever it is that you desire. Just ask for help from your angels and guides, and allow your ancestors of light as well to assist you in your journey. And it's just saying, be great. Step into your greatness, because you deserve a great life. That's pretty much all I have to say about dragonflies. This video is already pretty long. I hope you guys enjoyed it though. Let me know what you think, and go ahead and read the blog as well, because I really go in depth about dragonflies and the history of them. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below, and I will see you in another video. See ya!